Dude, every time our theme hits, I just want to like cue up some story of the year or Taking Back Sunday and just rock out. Just relive the early 2000s.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I love we should just play our theme. That's what we should do. It should just be considered like background music through the whole show, and everybody could just enjoy themselves instead of listening to just us talk. As I throw chords and everything, I am not prepared because I was too busy staring at your beautiful face during the pre-show to be paying attention to what I need to be doing. So,
you know, I got home from work. I took a shower. I shaved up nicely, trimmed the beard.
Yeah,
I've started trimming the beard more than once a week. I feel better about myself.
You're about to be on beard with a full beard?
Yeah, I was going to be. It was longer than yours.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Well, you should.
Next time I need a picture.
Okay,
that long. I've never seen you with a beard this long.
On my Facebook, I think I have a picture of me with a beard that long.
Well, we'll have to check that out. But I bet everybody's wondering why we're babbling on at 7 p.m. on a Saturday and not 10 a.m. 6 Central, that Central time zones. It's because we have things, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, shoot jobs. It happens. So we pushed it to 7. We know Collision is at 8. We got you. We'll get everybody out of here before AEW kicks off. Don't worry.
You know, I forgot Collision was on at 8 or 7 because we don't have it up in Canada. It's on TSN Plus.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah, sorry about your damn luck.
About your damn luck.
Some James Storm, you know? But yeah, I try to catch it the next day. So this is like a primer just to get you into some wrestling action because there's not a lot of independent shows this week.
Yeah, the independent season tends to like not die down, definitely take a little bit of a break around this time of year. It really does it's not that you can't find good independent wrestling right now. It's just that it's not so much of an abundance that because everybody loves the holidays. It's a holiday season.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on with the holidays, with Christmas, that like there was 2 shows this weekend that of note: the Expect the Unexpected and the No Holds Barred, the deathmatch show, and then like there's a GCW show Thursday, and then it seems like there's nothing else. Like it's quiet. There's like smaller shows going on, like some local stuff, but nothing on like the grander scale. I know Nick Gage is wrestling in Minneapolis tonight for Time Bomb Pro, so that's big. But I mean,
there you go, Nick F. Gage.
Yeah, so I mean that's about it though. Like there isn't tons going on, so well, that's why we can kind of do 7 o'clock today and get away with it.
The only thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it right now because I can do whatever I want.
You want me to punch it up?
I got it. I want to do it. The only thing I want to talk about is that GCW holiday show on Thursday night because Blake Christian is wrestling Santa Claus. As you can see, Blake Christian, naughty. Santa Claus, nice. Now, my question to you, Blair,
yes,
and I've thought about this extensively. We love us some Blake Christian on this program. I guarantee you we will be talking about Blake Christian later on in said program as we kind of talk about our favorites from the past year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He can't beat Santa, right?
Yeah. Is Santa going to be GCW champion? Like, how much of a heel does Blake Christian want to be in this world?
Like, that's what I'm getting at here is like, you can't beat Santa. Like, I know Philadelphia Phillies or Eagles fans threw snowballs at Santa Claus one time, but like, come on, Blake. And we got Lawrence in the house saying elbow cough, elbow cough. What is that?
I don't know.
What, is that like do I need to look at the actual stream to see what that is?
You might need to.
Yeah, he's throwing elbows, coughing. Yeah, okay, that's like a little emoji.
Oh.
That's like a little emoji. Hi, Lawrence. If you're in the chat, we're trying to hit a like goal of 15 today at the minimum. I'd like to see 20, but let's get 15. We're at 5, I think 6.
Mhm.
Let's go, baby. But yeah, so what do you do in that spot?
I mean,
You can't destroy Santa 2 days before Christmas, 3 days before.
I bet you Blake Christian has something to say about that.
Blake, I know you're watching. Don't hurt Santa. Leave him alone. You remember that? You remember in the Santa Claus? You ever seen the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Yeah, yes.
And like Santa's getting arrested, and that little girl's like, "No, leave Santa alone." That's gonna be me during that entire match,
where he's just beating the tar out of Santa, and you're like, leave him alone. He's got gifts to deliver.
My kids are gonna be watching, going, "What the hell, Dad?"
They cannot watch this.
Actually, what I should do as the upstanding parent that I am is being like, you see Santa getting his ass kicked over there? That's what happens when you guys aren't good. I call up Blake Christian, and he takes care of business.
Is that really the way you want to go with this?
Evil Uno fought Santa here last week. Did Santa beat Evil Uno? Ophelia's in the house. Hi, Ophelia.
What's up, Ophelia? How's it going?
Ophelia rules.
I mailed out you some sneakers last week.
Lauren's saying, hell yeah. Santa, go Birds. I can't say it yet, Lawrence. Not 10 minutes into the show, buddy. We also gotta behave. We gotta behave. But yeah, go Birds. Go Birds. Yes, with the help of the Grinch. So see, Evil Uno put over Santa, went out on his back. Blake Christian in the holiday spirit. This is for the GCW World Championship.
Yes. So Santa's got a ring in the new year as GCW World Champion. We can expect him in an ROH spot in the coming months.
Do you think if Santa wins the GCW World title, he has to relinquish some of the other duties that he has in this world? Like he's like, listen, I now have dates to fill. I can't,
I bet his schedule's very difficult to work around, especially with like toy making.
Yeah,
he's in charge of that whole operation.
Is Brett Lauderdale like, listen, Santa, we need you on this day, this day, this day, and this. He's like, listen, that's the toy division meeting, bro. It's the naughty and nice list. Check day.
Santa goes full Kevin Nash and busts out that doesn't work for me, brother.
He gets full creative control. Speaking of naughty and nice lists, when is the cutoff? Because he can't be checking that stuff on the 24th of December. He's got to have that stuff ready to go. So, like, is the cutoff like December 1st? He's like, these are the people that were naughty and nice this year. So from December 1st to the 24th, 25th, you can do whatever you want.
No, it goes right up until midnight, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So if like you're a little troublemaker,
he just pulls the gifts.
He yanks them.
Oh, okay.
Chucks them out the back of the.
Philia dropping the bomb that T.Y. Jackson was the Grinch. I did not see that. I need to see T.Y. Jackson as the Grinch because he's such a wonderful human being.
The rest of that GCW card, like there's some fun matches on there.
Yeah, lay them on me. I actually hadn't looked at most of the card because I'm still trying to wrap my head. By the way, who is Santa Claus? Before we talk about the card, who do you actually think it's going to be?
Santa.
You think it'll be like it's Santa? Santa is Santa. There's no like it's going to be Jimmy Lloyd in a Santa suit.
Why would it be Jimmy Lloyd? Jimmy Lloyd's not Santa.
Okay. It's still real to Blair. Damn it, dude. Sorry to all the boys and girls across the world.
Yeah.
Okay. This show might just end now. We might just cut the stream 9 minutes in.
Bang on right here.
He could decide to not deliver gifts because he's GCW World Champion.
Not to deliver the gifts.
Is it like a conveyor belt?
If you are a little troublemaker on Christmas Eve, Santa can decide, you know what? I'm not dropping any gifts off of Pluggo. He's getting cold.
That's fine. That's what this house needs. It's cold in here. We're gonna heat it up.
Yeah,
I'll make a fire out of it. It'd be great.
Stop it. Okay.
Blair still hears the bells. Yes, he does. He's
getting in the Christmas spirit.
So this is the holiday show, GCW. Yes. So on December 21st, if I'm not mistaken, Thursday night.
Yes. So We also got so we got Blake Christian versus Santa. We've got Joey Janela versus Marcus Mathers.
Nice.
Mike Bailey versus Broski Jimmy. Big
Bros-
fan of Broski Jimmy.
Super fun. Super fun
great
stuff.
And then you also got Nick Gage, Masa Slamovich, Santana Jackson, and then Richard Holiday that's there as well. So I have to like be careful when I read Santana because like in my head I think Mike Santana. And I'm like, hell yeah, Mike Santana getting those indie reps. And it's like, no, it's Santana Jackson, which is still just as cool. But like, I also like Mike Santana.
Santana Jackson has been on a tear lately. I talk about like a meteoric rise where it's like you watch Santana Jackson and you fully think like cheesy gimmick just for comedy spots, not a big deal. And then he rattles off the wins he's been rattling off over the last like 2 months. And you're like, this is the real deal.
Has just been crushing those dubs. Like it's great to see. It's something different, and that's what makes it fun.
And I think what the best part about it is like all the wrestlers buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all willing to play the game. They're all willing to take the loss in the fun way, the thriller way, whatever which way Santana decides, which Mike Jackson spoof he wants to do. But yeah, crazy.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be a fun show. And I mean, right before Christmas, so you can check that out. I mean, I wouldn't. There's probably something else you should be watching at that time, but you catch the replay on Triller TV.
So yeah, listen, GCW. I'm watching you. The Thursday night is the Between Two Beards Christmas party. You heard it here first.
Like, I don't know what they think they're doing.
Yeah, listen, we got plans. That's all right.
Exactly.
Put it on in the background.
Yeah, might as well. So you want to talk some year-end stuff? Some best of?
The best of?
I figure we could rattle off, half of them, throw in some tidbits, and then just carry on our wayward son.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Yeah. I'm down.
Now, I'm thinking we cue this up. We go right off the bat with talk about our tag team of the year.
Ooh, I'm interested to see what you think. Because if I'm not, I think we think the same thing, but we might not. Because let's preface this by saying, first and foremost, the independent wrestling scene is massive.
It is.
And we don't watch everything because that is impossible to do. So this is just teams or people that we have enjoyed.
Yes.
And it's not a slight on anyone. When are the LPW award winners announced affiliate? I do not know the answer to that. That is a Spenny Love question. I
think after Christmas.
Yeah, I think they usually wait. We might have some things coming up for that. Just so stay tuned. Yes. And then who knows? We might do something.
I'm sure if
LPW related.
If they get announced before the 30th or even after that, we'll run through all of the winners.
Yeah, we'll get Boris to join us again.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll have some fun.
Maybe Mars the specialist will pop up.
If he popped in right now after you saying his name, I was going to be like, he's like the genie.
I would have absolutely lost it. I'd have been like, oh, snap. It's real. Maybe you got to say it 3 times like Beetlejuice.
Mars.
And then, what's up? He was like, he goes on Thursday. He goes, what's up, guys?
Well,
look at that. We made one appear.
Yeah.
Boris, we are booking you for shows that we haven't even discussed that you're on yet. So
get ready, buddy.
More Boris in 2024, baby.
Mars.
Listen, and while we're all having a good old time, before we start talking about the independent wrestling scene, in the chat, let us know your favorite tag team of independent wrestling over the last year. And hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, share the live out to your friends so that we can get everybody in here to enjoy us until around 8 o'clock when we'll let you go on your merry way. We're just having some fun tonight. Yeah. And we got that like goal of 15. And Boris said he's always down to hang with us. So perfect. You are booked.
Hell yeah. Plus it's past the 10-minute mark, so we can swear now. Shit, yeah.
So, how's it? So okay. I want you to go first.
Okay. So, I mean,
and if you pick who I was gonna pick, I'll pick another one that I had ready to go that I thought had just as good as yours.
You don't have to, but I would like to say that Sinner and Saint had a tremendous year.
Yeah,
they are not my pick, but recognition very much deserved.
I mean, you
what an
could
incredible team.
affiliate, you could talk me into that pick. I think for them specifically, they really started to come on in the back half of the year as like on fire. But yeah, they're fantastic.
So my tag team of the year is the East West Express, and
Oh,
now hold on. I know that I picked against them a lot when we were doing our picks, but it's only because I had fantasy booked in my head so much with that team that it was like, hey, here's where it's going to be, and then they're going to do this, and I couldn't get past that. But you cannot, argue the year that they had, because I mean, they defeated the Motor City Machine Guns for the GCW Tag Team Championships, and then it seemed like every week on GCW programming, they were having a banger of a match.
Yeah.
Whether it's GCW, JCW, they were showing up. They showed up at the New Japan show, the Super J festival in Philadelphia, and had a great match with Mao and Speedball, if I'm not mistaken. So those guys, it was a constant. You knew that you were going to get an absolute incredible match with them. Nick Wayne signed with AEW, and then, he still was able to work a few shows, but that was sort of the sign that that was going to be it for them. So I mean, for now. Yeah. So regardless, I mean, they're my tag team of the year. Other teams that I kind of had batted around, Violence is Forever, but I feel like they didn't really get
that was my pick.
Oh, you didn't have to say it yet.
That's okay. I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask for your reasoning afterwards, but Violence is Forever, I feel like they were predominantly singles for most of the year, even though there was the tag run. So I do think them as GCW tag champs heading into 2024, they could definitely have a hell of a year. Bang and Matthews, I thought were great, but just didn't have the same competition, I'll say. So that goes a ways with me, you can have banger matches, but if you're facing off with the best of the best every time, then okay. And I mean, Boris Bang Bros had a great year. So
well, I that was the two I was flipping around, was Bang and Matthews and Violence is Forever. I ultimately landed on Violence is Forever, but I agree with you. But I just thought they've got the GCW tag titles now. They're one of the most consistent tag teams in the world. But I really like your pick of the East West Express. I really do. I think that you could sway me right now if we were going to put just our stamp on it. That's fine. But I just really love Violence is Forever. I think that they had a killer match with Bang and Matthews. I was there live. TDT for Lawrence. Yes, got to go TDT for Lawrence. What about Fresh Air?
I was just thinking, Fresh Air had a hell of a year. I mean, I think there's quite a few Canadian teams. TDT, Fresh Air, Amazingly Sweet, Kristara and Alex Mays, they had a hell of a year. And then, when you keep branching out,
the Rads had a good year until things kind of went crazy.
Yeah, the Rads, I would say them. I would say locally here in Winnipeg, Red Hot Summer had an incredible year, becoming WPW tag champs and seemingly pulling out victory after victory. And then, I mean, Reloaded out in BC, hell of a year. Ride or Die. I think the tag scene in Canada right now is on fire. And
I just think tag team wrestling in general this year has been really well done from the top to the bottom. Because there was a moment, I don't know if you remember that momentary few years back where it was tag team wrestling wasn't really important. They weren't really pushing it. And then all of a sudden it's resurgence with maybe if it was because of AEW, I don't know, but WWE was kind of steering away from it. And then the independent scene, it's hard to have a really good independent tag team wrestling thing because you got to pay two people, but they've been doing the damn thing. LPW's tag team division is loaded. Violence is Forever, Bang and Matthews, Twist and Flipper on the way up. Los Macizos, our boys.
Fuck, Ciclope rocking the headphones last week throughout his match.
Yeah, he did. I watched to make sure he didn't wear a backpack.
I was just thinking of what was I going to say? Oh, and also Main Event, they're really coming into their own. I think 2024 could be a big year for them. but they're still getting things going. You know, like there's a lot of room to grow for them, and I'm excited for the future. So main event, and there was a couple other teams, Miracle Connection as well. They're doing some great stuff. So
I'm blanking on their name, but Amazing Red and Brian.
Oh, Brian XL
of XL. That match that they had with East West Express was phenomenal.
I'm trying to.
I don't follow as much House of Glory as I probably should, so maybe I'm doing them a disservice by only kind of throwing them into the mix. But that was a really fun match.
Yeah. So that was Tag Team of the Year. So I'm gonna get you to hit me with your. Let's see, because we got 7 categories.
7.
Do you want to start off with Spot of the Year? What you got for that?
Spot of the Year.
Yeah.
Sure. Brian XL was ahead of his time, Boris is saying. I think that's a good shout. I think that's a really good shout. Don't forget, guys, smash that like button, tweet it out, tell your friends. We want to get that 15 mark. We want to hit that spot. We want more people in here talking independent wrestling. Spot of the Year. Now, I could have took this as a few different ways, like what was a crazy moment. Like I think back to like the tournament, the Cage of Survival spots, that spot at Wrestler Revolver with the Rascals and Second Gear Crew, like that was pretty gnarly. But honestly, like I just kept thinking about I'd probably get some flack for this, is when Steph DeLander and Matt Cardona came out in the Ghostbusters car. That was such a cool moment, cool spot. Like it was a WrestleMania entrance at a GCW show, and then they killed it in the match. But yeah, trying to think of some other fun spots. I probably should have done a better job of jotting these down as I saw them, because we saw some crazy stuff this year.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, because with Spot of the Year, it can be taken however, you know, it can be a moment, it could be a move, it could be whatever. It's so easy to like interpret it however you want. And that's one of the best things about wrestling is, you know, like just the varied opinions on stuff. So I feel like when I was coming up with the categories, I figured, okay, this is one that it can be a lot of fun, could be a move, could be a moment. And like we have 7 categories that we're listing off. And hopefully for next year we have even more. It's just, you know, continuing to grow. So
we'll have to put together an actual award show.
Yeah, we'll be legit next year.
Did you hear that, guys? He's gonna hang out with me for a whole nother year.
Oh yeah.
He's locked in.
We got so much to do still. Like we're just getting started. So.
Yeah, this is just the surface. But your Spot of the Year.
My Spot of the Year was when Leon Slater first hit the 450 Swanton.
Okay.
Because that blew up the internet. Like you have this relatively unknown guy who's, you know, like making a name for himself, and that really put him on the map. So like you're watching that, and I know I talked a little bit about it when I was hyping up one of my podcasts, but when I was talking to Mikey Truth, he broke down the spot so he could do it himself. And I asked him just about the mechanics and going about it, and hearing the insight into doing like a move like that, even though it wasn't from Leon, but just seeing like how someone looks at like doing a move like that just, it brought me right in, and I was like, okay, this is some cool shit. So that was my Spot of the Year, because I feel like it put Leon on the map. I mean, he got an Impact gig out of it, and I think it's like you come to wrestlers like every so often who almost like step it up to the next level, and I feel like that's what we kind of got with Leon Slater. So like he's this high flyer, so he's set the bar now, and it's going to be up to everyone else to clear it with these high flying moves. So Leon Slater's 450 Swanton is my Spot of the Year.
How do you top that?
A Swanton
630
900.
Is that Tony Hawk style?
Yes.
Wow.
You telling me Vikingo couldn't bust out something like that? Come on.
Oh, Vikingo, speaking of spots of the air, dude, that guy is the spot. We should just call it the Vikingo Spot of the Year.
Next year, that's what it's going to be called. And Ophelia.
Yes, Larry beat Zoe. What an amazing spot. What an amazing moment. That whole chaos and that whole match. Just crazy. Or too bad Larry didn't keep it longer. But Michael Richard Blaze has some plans for it. And if you want to hear how Jack Pride feels about Michael Richard Blaze and the rest of the Clandestine Society, go check out the replay of Between Two Beards from Thursday. He definitely had some things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here on this very channel. When we're done, click it on
channel, Love Wrestling.
on this Love Wrestling channel. Yeah, Jack Pride came by and chopped it up with the beards on Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
So okay, do you want to do? These are the categories for those watching. We did Tag Team of the Year, Spot of the Year. We're gonna have. Let me pull them up. I have them in a notes app that I cannot find now. Okay. We got Male and Female Wrestler of the Years still to come. Match of the Year, Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year, and the 2024 who we think is going to break through.
2024, who to look out for.
Exactly. 2024, who to look out for. So which do you want to do next?
Oh my gosh, just lay it on me. I don't know. However you're feeling. If you want to build up anticipation, what would be the next category? Breakout star of 2023?
The 2023 Breakthrough Wrestler
the Wrestler of the Year.
So,
okay.
I guess I'll bust mine out.
This literally could be a lot of people.
The field is so wide open for this one because like so many wrestlers had great years that are there from where they started off to how it ended for them. Like, I mean, it was really something special in the year of independent wrestling.
Yes.
So this was a tough choice because I feel like there was about 5 or 6 that I could have rattled off right off the top of my head. I had to do some thinking. And for 2023 Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year, I went with Alpha Zoe.
Ooh, I like that. He's had a year.
After watching his match with Brian Keith at West Coast Pro a few months ago, I feel like that really solidified him as the real deal. That he's the kind of guy that you should have booked on your shows. Incredible wrestler, just a powerhouse. I love what he brings to the table. And like, I'm excited to see what he's going to do going forward. I think he's going to be all over the place. He's going to be like, when you're seeing these banger shows announced, where it's like the best of the independents, he's going to be on those. So that's where I'm at.
So how did you look at this category, right? Were you looking at it like top independent talent that has now made themselves the upper echelon of the indies that could be signed any day? Or are you looking more lower that's going to take over for maybe some of these top people in independent wrestling?
I looked at it as someone who, maybe they started off and just, as an independent wrestler, just doing their thing, like obviously everyone wants to improve, but by the end of it, they had, kind of taken that next step, ready to be higher profile, featured higher up on cards. And I feel like Alpha Zoe really took that and really made it something. So that was my choice.
So I went with she stuck in my head the whole time. Rachel Armstrong, who we talk about all the time, and the reason that I think she broke out in 2023 and is somebody you should look out for next year is because simply like you look at like the Billy Starks of the world who have moved themselves up into it, and I feel like Rachel's that person that you can kind of slot in there and have those big banger matches with, because she's already doing it. So I think next year is going to be even bigger. I tossed around the idea of like a Steph DeLander. Like if you think about like at the beginning of the year, like she kind of was doing her thing and then she hooked up with our Cardona and now she's at the top of like every card with Matt, of course. But I think she's holding her own in that role. So she's really, because at first I think it was like, I looked at it from a standpoint of like, oh, that's just, Matt Cardona's, mouthpiece, whatever, heavy, whatever you want to call her, valet. But like as the year has progressed, she's really kind of like, it's Matt and Steph. It's not, it's Matt and then there's Steph DeLander. No, it's Matt and Steph. That one without the other doesn't work.
I think with Steph, definitely, especially being in the GCW, predominantly a GCW wrestler, that allowed her to really branch out more and kind of experiment more and find out what works for her, kind of push boundaries a little bit and really come into her own. Whereas like if she was just doing random independence, she might not be able to get there, but being a part of the GCW roster really helped her fully like reach her where she is now.
And if we're talking in our home promotion here, Zoe Sager from a she was the LPW Grand Champion for most of the year, but from a just like notable standpoint, she got shouted out by Bret Hart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he helped put her on the map. And I think in 2024, you're going to see a lot more bookings for her and see her really start to hit her stride. So I cannot shout out the hometown favorite or the home promotion favorite, I guess is what
even after Speedball Strikes First event, you had someone like Veda Scott talking about like how Zoe isn't booked everywhere. That's how great Zoe is in the ring. And so I'm really hoping 2024 we start seeing Zoe more across Canada, getting down into the States, you know, working those Defy shows, all that stuff, like working Prestige. I'm really hoping we get to see that coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you want to do one more and then we will do some tidbits because we're at the halfway point of the show.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's do this.
So let's do the 2024, who we think is going to have a breakthrough year. And I'll pass it on to you to go first.
I think I just touched on a few.
You did.
So we'll go with them. But if I'm going to throw a few and I think Ophelia mentioned it earlier. I think Sinner and Saint in 2024, they're really going to ramp up what they were doing at the end of the year. So you're going to see, I wouldn't be shocked if they were signed by the summer.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Good. You know, I'm really digging what I think Jimmy Lloyd's about to have a big year. GCW side. I really think because he's doing the stuff with Cardona now. So he's got the broski gimmick, but he's also been doing some work on MLW and it's been good stuff. So I think you're really see him. Marcus Mathers and Dylan McKay, Wasted Youth. I think that's another one because I think what's going to happen there, especially if they stay in the GCW route, Violence is Forever, you know, ultimately that could be the team they build up to maybe beat them. So there's just a couple guys out there. There's so many. This is so hard. There's so many. I'm crying over having too many talented people in the world of professional wrestling. The hell's wrong with me?
So Ray dropping by the chat. He's headed to Destination Pro tonight down in Thief River Falls.
Thank you, Ray.
Have a great time. It's looking like a very fun show, so check that out if you can. They put their stuff up on YouTube too, and I try to retweet it out on my main account. So Destination Pro is doing some great stuff.
Yes.
So my 2024 breakthrough, I think that they definitely had a very stellar 2023, and I think 2024 is when it really is going to come to fruition for them. And I think Sawyer Wreck is going to have
that's a great shout. She was on my list, but I didn't want to I didn't want to take. Yeah, she's great. I love her so much.
Like everything about Sawyer Wreck just screams star. The in-ring work, just the overall aura to Sawyer.
She's got the size, she's got the charisma that you want.
Charisma is the word I was looking for, because I mean, when you see the pictures and just busted open, blood streaming down her face, but the biggest grin, it's okay, this is. I could see Sawyer as GCW World Champion in 2024. Yeah. You know what? I'll even make that a prediction.
Ooh,
that Sawyer Wreck
I like
GCW
it.
World Champion in 2024.
Oh, that's a great shout. Yeah, the match she just had last week with Big F and Joe over at Highest in the Room 2. You could just tell, you put her in any scenario that you want on a card, and if she's willing to do it, it's she just makes the most out of every opportunity so that is an amazing shout. I can't believe as I was rambling on, I didn't throw her into that mix. Way to go. Way to go,
it's
dude.
Tough because I mean, there's so many wrestlers just primed for a huge year. And to me, Sawyer Wreck's at the top of them. So
that's why this show exists, man.
Yeah.
Because there are so many good, talented independent wrestlers that we try our best to cover as many as possible.
First prediction, Sawyer Wreck, GCW World Champion before 2024 is over. And to carry on your Sinner and Saint
to beat Santa.
To carry on Sinner and Saint being signed, 2024, I bet you they get signed by Impact Wrestling.
Hey, that would be good. Give me a Sinner and Saint in that Impact Wrestling tag division with the Rascals and Motor City Machine Guns. Yes.
ABC.
ABC. I mean, dude. Yeah, but Santa Claus, you're going to have Sawyer Wreck take down Santa Claus?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm good with Sawyer Wreck beating Santa. Blake, not so much.
Not Blake Christian.
Not Blake Christian.
Okay, so that's the halfway point. We got some tidbits to drop. So
And I think this week I uploaded all the pictures properly.
I think so.
I think so. You got a couple in there.
Yeah, I'll have to keep learning like the StreamYard things just so like the picture doesn't show up in the middle and then we're on the sides, like to get a full screen. But that'll
you'd have to render the picture to the 9:16 screen.
Okay. Well, we'll work
you'd have to do that on your own accord. But
so then I'm going to bust out the one that's awkward first, just to get it out of the way. We've talked a little bit about House of Glory.
Where's it going to go? Right here.
You go that way. I'll go this way.
This way. Okay.
So already announced for the coming year.
We got a little room. There you go.
Roost beginning of January on House of Glory.
Oh, heck yeah.
So January 6th, that's Ukrainian Christmas Eve for all of those who celebrate. So Taurus has announced Josh Alexander. There's a tag match main event versus ABC, which should be a banger. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Heck yeah. Real quick, when you take that one down, I'm going to put this comment on the screen because this absolute stud helped us get Zach to sing Headlock on My Heart. And it's over on twitch.tv right now, and he loathed that song. So Sullivan, you're the man. And Pluggo did not pronounce machine guns properly. Motor City Machine Guns. Or did I say Motion City Machine Guns, like Motion City Soundtrack? That's possible.
Motion City Soundtrack.
Motion City Soundtrack is always on the top of my year-end rap because I listen to might be one of my favorite bands of all time. Okay. Mrs. Pluggo's in the house, the apple of my eye, the love of my life, my partner in crime.
Motion City Soundtrack, a little bit of Greeley Estates.
Yeah. But if you're in here, smash that like button. We're at 10. We had a goal for 5. We need 5 friends. Ryan Sullivan, Zach singing was amazing. Yes. And friend, you are absolutely amazing. The monster super chat that you sent. Not only did you send a super chat on Beards, which we put our money that we got towards the goal, you blew it out of the water for the Quizplex. If you haven't had a chance, go watch that Quizplex also on this very channel. Let's just say the people that were announced did not win.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a swerve when I drive. Sorry.
Okay, so that was enough dead air.
We're clipping that.
Yeah. So he was my 2023 Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year, and he's going to be kicking off the new year in style. January 27th, West Coast Pro challenging Starboy Charlie.
That's going to be good. Let's go.
Yeah.
When is that? The 27th of January? Perfect. Yep.
And West Coast Pro has been putting their shows up on YouTube and then putting them over to IWTV. So we've talked about it. Great opportunity to check out a product without having to pay for it. So
yes. Well, that's what I've and I started to see that a little bit more throughout the independent scene where it's like, here, come check out this awesome product for free on YouTube and get yourself hooked. Mm-hmm. JCW does it. West Coast Pro does it. You know, there's some others that do it. Yeah. I mean, we're pretty good about doing it LPW after the fact. Like Zach has, or Spencer has those matches edited and out like quickly. So, heck yeah.
So
affiliate saying Ryan,
just like Adam. So,
what if we decided every show to just go a swerve dance break, and then
we might have to start doing that.
I think it.
So.
I'm thinking so. We're gonna clip that, guys. We're at 13 likes while we talk about this next tidbit.
I totally cut you off there. I apologize.
That's fine.
When West Coast Pro, middle of February, bringing in Black Taurus, you know that it's going to be a banger of a match, no matter who he's against. So
yes,
just getting those West Coast Pro announcements in there because I love me some West Coast Pro.
Is that all of the tidbits? Is there any more?
No, there is one more.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do that, and then I'll try to get everybody to like our stream.
How excited are you for this one? Because talk about incredible stuff. Like, I haven't smiled this big since I met Ultimo Dragon for the first time, but I'm this happy again because coming up in GCW, AJ Francis.
Yeah! Top dollar. You said returns? He's been there before?
Returns, apparently.
So I'm intrigued. This is one of those intriguing moments for me as a wrestling fan because the GCW crowd, it's because it's GCW. If you were like AJ Francis is going to make his Revolver, debut or his Prestige debut, or you name one of, I would be like, okay, they're going to do something with him. Or if it was some off the wall local show that nobody, but like the GCW fans do not like wrestlers that cannot wrestle that well. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying, but he's not some technical wizard or he's not a deathmatch guy. Like they're a very tough crowd to please. So if you show up and you're less than stellar, they're going to tell you about it. So I just worry for our buddy AJ Francis. Maybe my first thought was he's going to align himself with Steph and Cardona and do a little like superstar gimmick thing. Like I'm not a wrestler, I'm a sports entertainer.
So AJ Francis worked the GCW for the Culture in 2022. It was just finding the match. So Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor and O'Shea Edwards. Edwards, one of the nicest people in wrestling, facing off against AJ Francis and Tahuti Miles. So that was his GCW appearance.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see what he does. I mean, I'm just saying, if we're being honest, he wasn't the most technically sound wrestler in the world. I don't think there's any shame in that. He can wrestle better than I can. Bryce in the house is saying, what up, boys? Be like Bryce. Be in the chat. Hit that like button. We're 2 away from our goal. We're 2 away.
Bryce sent me a message on Instagram yesterday, and I told him I would relay it. His message was, fuck Blake Christian.
We like Blake Christian, though.
We do.
At least I like Blake Christian. Yeah. But I get it. He's not a nice guy. They don't like Blake Christian in GCW circles, so I don't know what they're going to think of AJ Francis.
We'll find out. The 90-day contracts are up soon, like the no compete. So they're up on the Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm curious how many people are going to start ending up on the indies. There's a few that I would like to see, but
didn't I just see? Hold on. Oh, there we go.
Well,
I was looking at it. WCE, WCC, like Dolph Ziggler has already announced his appearance.
Okay.
He's wrestling. I think Riddle announced. We talked about Riddle announced his. So yeah, we're gonna start to see. I'm trying to find some more, but I haven't found them.
Mace and Mansoor, they're announced for Effie's Big Gay Brunch coming up in January.
I think. I think Mansoor is. I think they also announced for another GCW show as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that too.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, they showed up at the Deadlock Pro show this past weekend and just kind of said fuck it with their contract. So, because why not?
I don't know how it works, but what's the worst that would happen if they just like 2 days early from their non-compete? Maybe, but I also have heard, isn't that as long as they're not on air or on screen, or if it's not like a live show, so maybe, I don't know how it all works, but I will say we will have quite a few tidbits, I'm sure, in the next couple weeks as some of these 90 days end. We will end up with a lot to talk about, and we'll get to start some independent wrestling journeys.
All right, my dude.
Okay.
Match of the year.
Ooh.
We got 17 minutes left. We're going hot for these 17.
Okay, this is hard. This is hard. This one is
you got to pick one. You can give me an honorable mention, but you got to pick one.
All right. You go first.
Oh,
you go first, because I got to pick one. So I had like 2 or 3 that I was hammering out.
So my honorable mentions is Blake Christian versus Little Guido, because I love Little Guido, and anytime I can see him on my screen, I'm going to enjoy it. And Little Guido can still go, and Little Guido should be booked everywhere. And you know what? I would go as far as saying Little Guido should have beat Blake Christian for the GCW World Championship. So that's my honorable mention.
WWE isn't going to say anything over the indies. Yeah.
So that's my honorable mention. My match of the year, I'll let you critique my honorable mention in a second. My match of the year is from West Coast Pro Cruel Summer. Titus Alexander versus Vinny Massaro. Because those two had an absolute banger of a match. It's up on YouTube. Go watch it after this. It is incredible. The counters, the spots were all fantastic. Hard hitting, fast paced. It is everything I want in a wrestling match. So, like, not only is it on my like favorite of the independents, but it's on my like grand scale match of the year list.
Wow.
Yes.
Very good shout. Very good one. I had near the I'm just gonna Speedball and Brian Keith from Revolver.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved that match. I think that is the match of the year. I was also thinking I could just name it the Speedball Award, but like Speedball and Kevin Koo from Black Label Pro. I was actually there. That ruled. But I think it's got to be Speedball Brian Keith. Just I couldn't think of another match where I was just like, in the indie scene. I want to ask you if New Japan Strong counts as an indie because Speedball and Zack Sabre Jr. ruled.
I would love to say yes, but I don't think we can.
No, that's fine. But then in all honesty, too, like when we were on this show after Speedball Strikes First, and I said Zoe and Judas was one of the best matches I've ever seen, it's hard for me, even though it is LPW, and I think people think it's a homer pick that don't understand how much independent we watch. That match ruled it. I could hold it up against any match I've seen this year. So that would be the two, Keith and Speedball. And I'm leaving probably a shit ton out because there's so many. But if I have to pick one, Blair.
Yeah, because it's the best ofs. So I gave you an honorable mention. So
little Guido.
You like that one?
Well, I was going to say honorable mention Speedball Mike Bailey versus Yokoshita. Is it Yokoshita?
Yoshi. Oh, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I have it written down here.
You laugh or you shake your head, but he put on a hell of a match with a doll.
I know, it was incredible.
But and you could have said that tag team match you mentioned with East Fest Express earlier.
Yeah.
That absolutely ruled too. Like there was so many good matches this year. I'm sure we're selling a bunch of people short.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I mean, like even Vikingo was part of great matches. I mean, there was a lucha match at the WrestleCon WrestleMania weekend show, if I'm not mistaken. That was absolutely phenomenal. So there's just so many, but like that was the one for me.
Ringo Loco, Vikingo.
Yeah. Oh, there was also it was one from the first show at Mall of America where it was Vikingo, Aramis, Arez, and Gringo Loco. That match is incredible. Like, it's tough picking just one, but
I mean, hell, we could have said Brian Keith for Breakout Star 2023. That guy took it to another level. Like everybody knew how good he was, but he just took it to another stratosphere where there's Brian Danielson is on TV going, why isn't this dude signed?
Yeah. Like from we don't cover ROH here because it's not independent, but I mean, Brian Keith last night had an incredible match with Jack Hardwheel, had a great showing in the Survival of the Fittest match. You had Black Taurus with an absolute banger of a match with Vikingo, and like it was to the point where you think Taurus is almost going to win. Like that's how great it was. And then Blake Christian, Daniel Garcia had an incredible match on the 0 hour. Like you would think that Blake Christian's getting signed after the match they had. So.
Oh my God. You could talk about Blake Christian's run as champ and you could pick out a couple of his matches. I mean, I don't think that's the thing I love, especially about independent wrestling and wrestling in general, is you could pick anything and you could talk me into it. If it's your favorite, then it's your favorite. The independent wrestling has something for everybody. So what were we down to? We're down to what? The male and female wrestler of the year. And I have to announce and I have to say thank you to everybody who has stopped by today. We hit 18 likes on the stream. Yeah. The goal was 15 to 20. If we could find 2 more to just get 20, that would be dope. But hey, 18 is amazing. That's you guys awesome. Rule. We are not here without your guys' support. Love wrestling. We wouldn't be anywhere without them. They wouldn't be anywhere without you. So let's do it. 10 minutes to go.
So our woman wrestler of the year.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
Masha Slamovich.
Yes.
She was the GCW World Champion. She's the first women's GCW World Champion ever. She ranked 13th, 15th on the PWI 500, highest women's ranking of all time. I know she's technically more of an Impact star these days, but she still wrestles a very, very, very brutal independent women's schedule, and I'm hard pressed to find anybody better.
Yeah, I mean, that was my choice as well. Masha was in PWG shows. She wrestled the Ding show. She was in Bola, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Bola? I think so. But so she's been everywhere, and she is an Impact wrestler, but like the amount of independence she works, like I didn't factor in her Impact run at all when I made this choice. Like it was strictly what she's done on the independence, and the fact that she was the GCW world champion for a good chunk of the year, that solidified it. So
Bryce saying Silesia Sparks, that's a great shout. She's awesome. She came up to LPW and absolutely killed it. I mean, I tried to think of like some honorable mention number twos, but Jesus, like Maki Ito had a really good year on the independent wrestling scene. I know that people like kind of laugh her off as like a gimmick wrestler, but I mean that stuff she's doing in GCW with Nick Gage is, you can't really argue it. Sawyer Wreck was another one that I really enjoyed this year, but it's Masha, man. She's the standard right now, and when she ultimately decides to just lessen her independent wrestling dates, I mean, somebody will take her spot because that's how deep it is. But right now, she's just got it on a chokehold.
Yeah. I mean, I think Canadian-wise, there's quite a few wrestlers who definitely honorable mentions. I mean, Nicole Matthews, Katrina Creed, Zoe Sager. That's, just three. They had incredible years this year, and I'm very excited to see what they do going forward. So, and I mean, shout outs to Silesia Sparks' opponent at the LPW show. Rose had a hell of a year, wrestling over 4 provinces.
Yeah,
and was on ROH the other night.
So is Katrina. I was going to say it. Rose and Katrina on ROH. Shout out to our friends, our LPW, our Love Wrestling friends in general. Hells yeah.
So Katrina Creed, IWS Women's Champion.
I saw her wrestle at IWS this year. It wasn't in the title match. It was like the show or two before. And I just dug her vibe and was like, this is somebody I got to put on my like list of people to watch out for. So
very stoked for Katrina's match this past week at ROH. Excited for 2024 for her. So very excited for the future. So it's great. So my dude.
Yes.
Male wrestler of the year.
Oh, man. Another tough category.
I know.
As I said here, honorable mention. Oh my god, do I want to do it? I've been hyping the guy up all year. I think he's had the hell of a year, but I don't know. Did Jordan Oliver do enough to win independent? Would you call him the male wrestler? I mean, Cardona right now is firing all cylinders. Speedball, we just Speedball by Bailey. Like if you said, like it's just. But
do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm just throwing ideas out.
Okay. So I've got a burp.
Uh-oh. Is that your male wrestler of the year, little Guido?
Yeah. Okay. So my honorable mentions for male wrestler of the year: Jordan Oliver, Brian Keith, both of them up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Incredible years.
Blake Christian could go up there too.
Blake Christian, yeah. So earlier this week, I was asked to make a vote for the Stu Hart Award, which is something done by Wrestling Brain up on Twitter. One of the members asked me for my vote, and it's the Stu Hart Award is for the best Canadian wrestler. So, I mean, past wrestlers, I mean, it's a great list. And I was thinking like, who this year had an incredible year? And I'm racking my brain trying to think. And like, when you look at the main rosters, the big times, like no Canadians really stood out. But there was one wrestler who had an incredible year, and I could not vote for him. If I voted for him for the best Canadian wrestler, to me, he's the best independent wrestler, and that's Speedball Mike Bailey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is what I wrote for why I nominated him, and I think it holds weight for this as well. So with both AEW and WWE this year, we were able to see great Canadian wrestlers have some great moments and incredible matches. But being able to show consistency this year was different. Obviously, different factors at play, booking, injuries. I mean, Josh Alexander was having a great run at Impact before he was silent. So, although on a grand stage, no one was able to excel and show their dominance in the world of wrestling, there was someone who, from January 2023 to now, was having an MVP caliber year. That's Speedball Mike Bailey.
I agree 100%.
Started off winning the PWG Battle of LA, picking up victories over Brian Keith, Shun Skywalker, Jordan Grace, and defeating Konosuke Takeshita in the finals. Had an incredible WrestleMania weekend where he faced Kota Ibushi, Tanahashi, Vikingo, and more. Had a great showing at the Best of the Super Juniors in New Japan, which obviously New Japan's not independent, but still holds weight.
He was so good that he could be Wrestler of the Year.
Yes.
That's what you're getting at.
Basically. So face off of Vikingo at AAA in the co-main event. Had a 60-minute Iron Man match against Daniel Garcia the next night at PWG at the Mystery Vortex. And he's been a big part of GCW, Prestige, Wrestling Revolver, Challenge Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP World Junior Championship. And he capped off 2023 with a 20-minute banger versus Will Ospreay. So to me, my pick for male wrestler of the year, Speedball Mike Bailey.
I think that you can't go wrong there. And I think that if I was tossing around a few names, I think he was head and shoulders above. While you were talking about it, who did Roddy Strong? Wasn't that Roddy Strong and Kevin Blackwood at what was that? Oh my God, Little Mystery Sun. It was a West Coast Pro show, or not West Coast Pro. Remember what I'm talking about? That match ruled too. That should have been up there for match of the year.
Was that the Revolver show?
Yes. That
was that against Speedball?
No, it was Kevin Blackwood and Roddy Strong.
Okay.
And the first guest on Cheap Pop, you're damn right, Lawrence, Cheap Pop, Speedball Mike Bailey on this very channel right here. So when you're done with us and you check out the interview with Jack Pride and Mars' specials, and then you check out Quizplex where all hell broke loose, go watch Cheap Pop, the debut episode with my guy Lawrence and Speedball Mike Bailey. Boom. See? But yeah, you could have him be Wrestler of the Year. If you really wanted to, you could make a case. Speedball is head shoulders. I just like to throw other names out there, but I say that, and I've said it a couple of times, and I'll kind of just hammer the point home. The independent wrestling scene is in such a great place that if this upper echelon of people decided we want to sign somewhere and just do that and take the payday and not wrestle indies, there's so many talented people just ready to take that spot. And I'm so excited for what 2024 brings in the independent wrestling world. Oh, and by the way, Speedball Mike Bailey wrestled a doll and dominate. Well, yeah.
Yes. They recreated Ospreay versus Omega. Yes. So incredible stuff. Wrestling is an incredible Is place. That who you're giving me for your male wrestler of the year?
Yes. I was trying to make cases for other people. Like, that's why I said, like, do I go different? I was trying to not, because it's bad radio or bad television or whatever you want to call this thing.
When you're just like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. So I was like, do I do it? Do I go to bat for my man Jordan Oliver? Do I go to bat for Brian Keith of the world? Blake Christians of the world, knowing in the back of my head, how could you pick against Speedball right now? That guy is just on another level. Like I said with Masha, like, she's on another level. They're setting this bar of, like, it's going to be tough to crack that. If you want to be, not saying that every independent wrestler has to follow in their footsteps and wrestle, like Speedball wrestles probably more matches than anybody throughout year. Like, during the collective, he wrestled like 15 times. Something like that, right?
It wasn't 15, but it was a lot.
It felt like 15. And then Bola, he wrestled like 4 or 5 times, right? Yeah. So like, just, you don't have to do that, but my God.
And I mean, let's face it, had the incredible match with MRB at Speedball Strikes First. So
yeah, that's true. He was here. That match did rule. That was fantastic.
You had, like, I cannot stress enough that match. You had like all the wrestlers out to watch it, like just lining up the walls because it was that great of a match. So, okay, we're
He
cutting
said,
close.
okay.
We're cutting close. Don't want to go too far into overtime. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. First off,
Yes.
because without you guys, we're not here. So thank you so much. Like, honestly, it's been a great year so far. Looking forward to doing more with my good buddy Pluggo and with all you guys watching. So thank you for that.
Yes, we've tried some different things. We have some other ideas coming up for other shows and things like that we want to try, and it's been cool to like be able to chat some independent wrestling with you, Blair. And we're gonna keep it going. The year's not over. We got a show next weekend.
Yeah,
we should be back at our normal time. But, I'm excited to see what we come up with, because we started this thing after like the big collective last year. And it was like, I can't wait to see what we're going to do when we try to navigate that crazy week.
That's going to be, we'll have to plan ahead.
We'll have to plan some stuff out and get some more people involved, maybe.
Yeah. So, okay. You can find me up on all social media, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. So check that out. Dropped an episode with my buddy over here and JPJ, where we just take a look back at 2023 on the grander scale. Next week, our boss, Spencer Love, is joining me, and we're going to take a look at the year in LPW and all the fun stuff that happened. So definitely check that out.
Thanks for the invite.
Well,
just kidding.
I'm just stop it.
It makes sense.
Damn it. Damn it.
You're fired.
Damn it, Pluggo. Where can they find you?
Well, now that I'm dying, you can find me at Pluggo_ on X, at Pluggo Loves Wrestling on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky. You can find at B2 Beards on all social media platforms as B2 Beards, with what you just mentioned, our good buddy JPJ and we're going to have a Christmas party this Thursday night. Everyone's invited. Come hang out. We're going to shoot the link out, let people just pop in, have some fun, drink some shot, have some fun, holiday party. But every Thursday night there. And then, of course, like you said, I did that Grainmaker Wrestling Pod, I think it's called, with you, talking about the year in review. And then who knows what else I got coming up this week, but that's what I got. So,
yeah. All right. So thank you again for joining us. This has been a blast for myself and Pluggo. You have been consensually exposed. Thank you again for joining us. Peace in the streets.